Hello everyone, my name is Dmitry and welcome to my channel. So I've been staying in Tbilisi, Georgia for the last even more than 2 months already, and I learned a lot of different things about the city and I wanna share them with you today. So it's kind of like introduction for you if you wanna visit the city, and then later on I will record more videos in detailed way. So I'm gonna stay here for 4 more months, so it's gonna be a lot of videos about Tbilisi. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in that content. Without further ado, let's go. First of all, let's start with the city itself. I really enjoyed the areas in Tbilisi. They're really different and colorful. You can find here like modern European areas, more like old-styled European areas, kind of like old towns, that kind of thing. You can find here really like fancy, modern, more like maybe North America style areas with huge buildings from the glass. So everyone will find something for themselves. Of course, there's areas with many hipster places or clubs and cafes. So you really have to go around, and if you, especially if you want to stay for a long term, you want to go around and see different areas. So you pick the one that suits you. What I didn't like about the city, like in general, the roads are really steep. So when you're walking around a city, you go ups and downs, and yeah, sometimes it's frustrating, especially if you like walking around a lot. There are a few areas that are really flat, and yeah, I usually walk there. And I rent an apartment in the area where you can walk around and it's not really like crazy hills here. So let's talk about the weather. The weather is pretty good. The summer is could be hot. There were 35 degrees sometimes when we arrived in July. And yeah, it was really hot. Thankfully, almost every apartment has AC here, so you can avoid this hotness. We only lived in summer so far, but the September started right now and it's becoming a bit chilly. So 25 could be something like this. There were a few days there were even 18 degrees, and yeah, I guess the fall and the spring like this, like around 15-20 degrees, and winter could be cold, not as cold as in my home country, but +5, maybe even 0. There is snow sometimes here, so yeah, you want to bring some warm clothes here if you're planning to stay in winter. Let's talk quickly about cheap cost of living. The cost of living is really cheap in here, even compared to Bali, for example, or some Asian cities. I was really surprised how many things you can get here for cheap price. For example, the apartment rent could go from $300 to $400 for really good apartments. We rented the one for 6 months for $400, and it's a huge apartment. This is our living room, but other prices are cheap as well. The food, the taxi, the transportation, the different entertainment here. I will definitely record one video about detailed cost of living here after I will gain a little bit more data on that area. But like in general, it could be really cheap to live here. Like you can live here easily for $700 or $1,000 per month for 2 person. It's my estimation. As I said, we will come back to this more detailed review on the cost of living in a different video. Stay tuned. Let's talk about visas, and this is one of the advantages of Tbilisi for many countries, for many passports. You can get here a 1 year visa-free for almost all the countries, almost all the citizens of the world, me included. I can stay here for 1 year, and as far as I know, all the people I met here also staying here on the same condition. Well, of course, you better check on the internet about your specific situation, but usually, yeah, they allow you to stay 1 year visa-free, and it's amazing. No longer issues with the visas, these extensions, these visa runs. Yeah, if you want to just calmly stay and work for a long term, it's sometimes frustrating process, so it's really amazing in Georgia. But even more to the visa, you can open actually a company here. We recently opened sole entrepreneurship, and also you can open a bank account, and you don't need anything. You just can go there and open bank account, give your passport, and yeah, it's so easy. The company opening is also pretty easy. It's a little bit complex, but I will definitely record a video about this as well, but not that hard. It was like pretty easy process, and the advantages of opening the company here is you will pay 1% on your income until the threshold of 500,000 lari. It's around $150,000. So it's a pretty good deal, I guess. Another great thing is for people who want to work here is the internet is quite cheap, and mobile one and the home one as well. The mobile one I'm paying about $4 per 5 gigabyte, and you also can get maybe for $10+ you can get the unlimited internet, so you don't even need the internet at home, and the quality is pretty good. It's 4G almost everywhere, and the home internet I didn't have any issues. I lived in 2 apartments, and it was pretty good, like 20-30 megabits, and it's really stable. Another great thing for me about Georgia is food and wine. The food here is just amazing. I already knew about the food here because we had it in Georgian restaurants in Russia. It's pretty popular, but here it's even better. It's quite cheap and it's just amazing. I really love Georgian food and I'm enjoying it, and it's especially quite easy to find the food for me because I'm a vegetarian, and many meals in Georgia without meat. It with cheese a lot, it's a lot of dough food, and maybe egg, yeah, stuff like this. So I'm really enjoying here, and the wine as well. It's not that famous outside of Georgia, but the wine is pretty good, especially the red one. You can try, for example, Kind Maruli and Kvanchkara. It's kind of really famous wines here. They're semi-sweet and they really good. And the wine and food is also pretty cheap. Food delivery is also not an issue. They have a Volt application here and also Bolt Food. It's 2, I guess, European startups which works here and operates here, and yeah, you can order from anywhere from the city and they arrive just at your doorstep. It's pretty convenient, and the delivery fee goes from less than $1 to $1, so pretty cheap as well. We're ordering delivery a lot. Also, one thing which probably not important for as many people, but for me, after Russia, where you can drink tap water, here you can. It's really clean water. I did my research, I asked local people, and everything is fine with the water, so we can just go and drink tap water. It's really convenient, at least for me. Transportation is also pretty good. I usually use taxis, which are quite cheap, so you can go around 20 minutes for $1 or $2, and they have a public transportation in case you want to take this. They have subways, buses, and they're pretty convenient. It goes all around the city, and yeah, you can get everywhere really fast. And the city is not so big, so maybe 30 or 40 minutes, it's like the biggest drive you can get here from one part of the city to completely opposite part. I'm not a driver myself, but as far as I know, the car owners here having not such a great time because they have a problem with the parking. So if you know, like the streets could be really narrow, like in most European countries, and there are like paid parking everywhere, and yeah, you could have problems with the parking here. And also the gas is not so cheap, and the cars are itself pretty cheap, but the gas and the maintenance, I guess, could be really expensive. So yeah, I don't have plans to get in a car here, but if you want, you like have to know about these issues. But which is really good thing for me personally, you can get a driver's license here, and you can get even the international one, and the process is really easy. You just go and pass the exam, the practice exam and the theory exam, and it could take you like 1 month. Compared to my country, where you need to be studying for 6 months at least to get the license, it's quite easy process. So I'm planning to do this here because I don't have any driving license. There are also really many things you can do around the country, not specifically in the Tbilisi. There are plenty of great areas to visit. For example, we already visited Kazbegi, which is really mountainy place, and you can do a hikes there, and the views was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed the place. We also visited Batumi, which is kind of coast town here. It was really also nice. I will definitely record a separate video about Batumi and will be uploaded next after this one. Also there's Barjami, which is kind of like very famous natural water sources, and also Kahetia, which is a wine region here. You can go there and visit some wineries, taste some wine. So there's plenty of things to do here. They also have a skiing in the winter. So they, as I said, already have a coast town, so you can go to sea in the summer. So it's completely amazing country, and yeah, I'm planning to see as much as possible during my time here. Traveling around the country also not that hard. There is a website which called GoTrip.g. It's pretty good for hiring a driver. For example, we used this one to go to Kazbegi, and it cost us around $50, and we had a ride one way with all the stops around the famous areas, and the driver was talking us about the country. So yeah, it was a great trip. I really enjoyed it, and we're planning to use this website later as well. For more cheaper ways of transportation, well, of course you can rent a car, or you can go on the bus. I guess it's like the cheapest way to get around the country. And also the trains here, for example, to Batumi we went on a train. It was pretty comfortable ride. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I wanted to talk, kind of share my first impressions during these 2 months about the country and the Tbilisi itself, how to live here, what's going on in here. So yeah, now I will definitely record more videos with more details about different things. So stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you really enjoyed this video, and give me a thumbs up if you so, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.